Not if Green Bay is Green Bay. I mean, if Jordan Love is J-Lo rather than J-No, then Green Bay will win this game. So you know you want to laugh, Greg.
I want to laugh at you.
Yeah, but he's not doing it out of respect.
No, but look, if Green Bay plays its game, Green Bay should beat the Niners without Brock Purdy. All right, now, I think San Francisco could beat some teams without Purdy. You know, they couldn't make a playoff run over the whole course of the season, but I mean, we've seen backups win games before. Last year, Jake Browning in Cincinnati had a better record and even statistics than Joe Burrow. He was 4-3.
I get you.
Burrow was 5-5. I'm just saying, like
Brock Purdy was a backup who got the Niners to the NFC. I'm just saying, like he was a third-string quarterback.
But yeah, I mean,
it did happen.
Also, Tom Brady.
I mean, we've seen, right, yeah. That's very true. So, yeah, they could win a couple. I would be shocked if they beat Green Bay just because Green Bay's got a lot to play for, and Green Bay is very talented. And so, but no, I don't think, if Purdy's out, I don't think they win.
Yeah, no, they're not winning without Brock Purdy. He's been the one constant that has been a bright spot for them. If you're looking for any type of bright spot on that team, it's been Brock Purdy. And so if he's not in the lineup, think about what he's been doing without CMC, throwing the ball down the field, without Brandon Ayuk, without Debo at times. Like, he's had to endure all these non-Avengers being available. He's been the one that we've looked at and kind of discredited, at least on this side of the table to a degree.
I think properly credited. I think we
properly credited.
Yeah,
okay, properly credited.
Played fine.
But we've never classified him as one of the most important Avengers, if not the most important Avenger. And I think right now, keeping that team, they wouldn't be anywhere close to what they are right now, and they're not anything special right now if Brock Purdy weren't playing. So no, they're not winning. Look, I know how you feel about them.
Hold on. First of all, in order to be an Avenger, you need to be an All-Pro at some point in your career.
And
He's not yet an Avenger.
We shouldn't be using the word Avengers.
Okay, for the record,
I mean, really,
we weren't. I created that. I
know, but
you
shouldn't.
I get to use that to create the definition.
Then we just gonna throw it at everybody.
Anybody that's been an All-Pro, I'm
no. You called Jawan Jennings an Avenger.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. And you started talking about Jordan Mason like he was one.
I did not call him.
We'll check the tape. Dust, get on that.
I did not do that. Jordan Mason's your guy that you like.
No, he was playing well.
So first of all, I would like to give credit where it's due, because later in the show, I'm sure Daniel Jones is going to come up. People are going to throw tomatoes at Greg. This is just a continuation of Greg's prescient prediction that the Niners' health luck was going to catch up to them, and it could be a season from hell. Sure. That is true. The team that you had them missing the playoffs, I think someone at this table had them winning the Super Bowl.
I did not.
What
I think they were your
Niners over Dolphins with Patrick Mahomes winning Super Bowl MVP was your
Patrick Mahomes winning the Super Bowl, obviously.
Well, you picked Niners over Dolphins. You did it.
I was the one sharp guy.
The Niners were your backup Super Bowl pick.
But I don't need the backup.
But
what was your Super Bowl pick?
What? The Chiefs to win the third straight.
No, or to get to the Super Bowl.
Against the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
So right now, by the way,
So Nick, right there in that clip, you can hear him saying, hey, look, Brock was a third-string QB that stepped in, led his team to the Super Bowl. You know, Trey Lance getting hurt, Jimmy Garoppolo getting hurt. You know, Brock was the third stringer. So I think that's really just like a veiled dig at Brock Purdy there. You know, Nick Wright does not hold back any shots at Brock Purdy, questions how good he is all the time. It doesn't matter what kind of stats he puts up. If he puts up like all-time leading stats and yards, touchdowns, low number of interceptions, you know, Nick Wright is always questioning how good Brock Purdy really is. But when it comes to this game against the Green Bay Packers, I mean, this is a really massive loss for the 49ers. I mean, this is a must-win game. It's been a must-win game for a few weeks now for the 49ers. I mean, it seems like every week is a must-win now for the Niners. Sitting at 500, backs are against the wall. They really do need to get red hot, and they really need to string together a nice stretch here, because if they do not catch fire and they do not string together several wins in a row, their season is going to be over. And like, honestly, I think this weekend, if they lose this game, I believe their season is over. I believe it is done. Now, it's not a guarantee, right? This is the NFL. if you look at last year, the Buffalo Bills were very average partway through the season, and it really looked like they were going to do a whole lot of nothing. It looked like they were not going to make the playoffs, and then they just got red hot. So although it's possible for a team sitting at 5-5 to catch fire and go on a run, it is not very likely. So we'll kind of see what happens, but this is a massive loss for the 49ers. I mean, if you look at Brock Purdy, he's been around for, 3 years. He had that partial season in 2022, had that full season last year, leading the 49ers to the Super Bowl. But if you look at his career numbers, I mean, he's at a 67.8% completion percentage. He's thrown for 8,267 yards. He's got 57 touchdowns. Big numbers there. 23 picks, so with the 8 interceptions this year, the picks are definitely a little higher than you'd like them, and that's hurting his rating. So, this year his rating is only at 95.9, but even with the down year that he's having this year when it comes to a low number of TDs and a high number of picks, Purdy still, for his career, has a 106.3 rating. So, if you look at those numbers and you compare those to the career of Brandon Allen, it's not even close. So Brandon Allen, for his career, is only 56.7% completion percentage. So huge drop-off there. I mean, Brock sitting at 67.8, Brandon Allen down at 56.7. I mean, that's like an 11-point difference when it comes to completion percentage. So massive drop-off there. Brandon Allen, only 1,611 yards, for his career. He's only got 10 touchdowns in his career and 6 picks. So if you look at the rating for his career, it's only at 78. So, I mean, you're taking a quarterback out that has a 106.3 rating, and you're replacing him with someone that has a 78 rating. So that is a massive drop-off there. That is like almost a 30-point drop-off. So that is like a 28-point drop-off when it comes to the QB rating. So, this is a huge loss for the 49ers. When they really couldn't afford it. They really didn't need something like this. They've already had so many injuries this year. I mean, Kittle's missed games, Debo's missed games, McCaffrey's missed a ton of games, special teams guys like Moody missing games. There's been so many injuries this year, and the one thing that they just could not afford is to lose their quarterback. So, for me, I'm predicting the 49ers to lose this game. I mean, anything could happen any given Sunday. It is the NFL. But, I mean, just looking at taking a 106 QB rating of Brock Purdy and replacing that with a 78 of Brandon Allen, that just does not bode confidence for the 49ers. Their backs are against the wall. This is a must-win. I mean, everything right now is pointing to a Packers win. Before Shanahan announced that Brock Purdy and Nick Bosa are going to be out of this game, I think the Packers were only favored by 1.5 points. So it was a pretty tight spread for this game at Lambeau. And as soon as Shanahan announced Purdy's not going, Bosa's not going, that line just exploded. I think it went to 3.5, and before you knew it, it was at 5.5. So, it's looking like everything is pointing to a Packers win here, but it is the NFL. Any given Sunday, you never know what could happen. Still watch the game. Let's see how it plays out. 49ers are going to need Brandon Allen to step up and play at a Brock Purdy level. We're going to need him to not play with a 78 rating in this game. He's going to need better than 56.7% completion percentage unless Shanahan can get that run game going. And, McCaffrey, the first 2 weeks back from this injury, he has not been the McCaffrey of old. He looks nothing like the McCaffrey we saw last year when you look at the way he's running the ball this year. Now, McCaffrey is still having, good games. He's getting over 100 yards from scrimmage. So, the receiving yards for McCaffrey is definitely helping him out. I'm not going to say he's playing, terrible, but in the run game, he's just not getting it done. Whether it's just him being kind of rusty or him not really being, ready to go because he's been there the entire season, or maybe it's also just the Niners' offensive line just not opening the holes for him. But, McCaffrey just doesn't look the same. And then, the Nick Bosa injury is also massive in this game. I mean, if you look at the Seattle game, I think the Seahawks were only getting 3 yards a play or something with Nick Bosa in the game, and they had no touchdowns. And when Nick Bosa was off the field, they were getting 6 yards per play, and they got 2 touchdowns. So the loss of Nick Bosa is going to be huge. I don't know how the Niners are going to generate pressure and actually get to Jordan Love and get some sacks without Nick Bosa, because, man, they just look like a different team with Nick Bosa off the field defensively. So let me know what you think about it all. Let me know what you think about Nick Wright and kind of his comparisons he made there, kind of comparing Brock Purdy to a third-string quarterback that stepped in, because that's what he was. And also let me know what you think about the 49ers' chances in this game. You know, if they lose this game, I think their chance of making the playoffs goes down like 14% or something. But if they can somehow pull off a miracle and win, it's up around the 50% mark. So let me know what you think about it in the comments section. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this, and I will talk to you soon.